Hi, folks. Primarily, what I do on YouTube is make fun of, correct, and debate flat earthers. In a recent debate with a flat earther, I said the following.
I brought 38 slides and I got nothing in return. I debated Flat Earth Fokker. He brought nothing. Then I debated Zoom Truth. He brought nothing. Then I debated Gleam. He brought nothing. Now I'm debating Marilyn, and she's brought nothing. Can someone please show up to a debate with some sort of evidence other than, nuh-uh, I don't believe you? I brought the document that she was talking about, the Antarctic Treaty, and she says, nuh-uh. I'm at a loss here. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. This is why I'm switching to talking about sovereign citizens. There's just no meat left on this bone.
I'll still continue to be a thorn in the side of Flat Earth, but I'm also turning my attention to sovereign citizens. Today I'm bringing you a guy who is in the process of taking his very ill friend to the hospital when they get pulled over for a simple seatbelt violation. What a good friend would do is cooperate with the police, end the traffic stop as quickly as possible, and get his friend to the ER for treatment. Here's what this human piece of waste does instead.
Didn't throw anything out. I don't litter.
Okay, well I just saw when I was behind you back on River Road you...
Well, I didn't throw anything out, and I am very curious about why my camera's not working. Oh yeah, it is working. Cool.
Do you have your ID, sir?
No, I don't. I'm on my way to the hospital right now.
And I'm letting you know I'm recording for your information of mine.
I have my ride. I'm meeting here right now to take me to the hospital.
You're on your way to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. You have an emergency or going to a
Well, I'm going to see.
Hey, it's none of his business. Don't answer his questions.
Whether there's an emergency or an appointment, that's pertinent as to whether...
Oh, an emergency? What? An emergency?
Okay.
Did you see any emergency when you pulled me over?
I saw the seatbelt violation.
Well, I see you have your emergency procedures engaged, correct?
Yeah.
There is no emergency.
Yeah, the vehicle's being pulled over for a seatbelt violation.
Well, you saw that he has it on.
Your last name?
No, you don't.
He's being stopped for a traffic violation. If he refuses to give me his name, information, he can go to jail.
Do we have a right to remain silent? Exercise your right to remain silent.
He's actually coaching his friend on how to get in further trouble and make the traffic stop take even longer.
Go ahead. Roll your window down like 2 inches.
So, can I get your last name, please?
Yes, sir.
What's your last name?
He doesn't have a last name. He has a family name. Give him your family name.
Zanelli.
And I hope you can make the distinction between a family name and a last name.
You said Zanelli?
Yes, sir.
How's that spelled?
Zanilli.
I-L-L-I. Which first name?
Stephen.
Steve, is that with a V or PH?
It's his given name. He doesn't have a first name or a last name. He has a given name and a family name. He's a human being.
How is Stephen spelled, sir?
With a V.
This is a common tactic for sovereign citizens. They think they have come up with magic words and phrases that exempt them from the law. I don't have a last name. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. There's no injured party. The list goes on and on.
With a V.
Sir, I'm on the way. I haven't had my medications for over 2 weeks.
Okay, well, if we could just hurry up and get this over, we can get out of here.
The deputy is exactly right. This stop should have taken about 10 minutes. Instead, they drag it out for over an hour.
Sir, driver.
I'm not a driver.
You're required to pull over to the right. But you kept driving.
I wanted to come to a safe place where I felt comfortable. I have a right. Excuse me?
You're required to pull over to the right and come to immediate stop. And there's a emergency vehicle behind you, okay?
Did you witness an emergency?
No, when there's an emergency vehicle behind you, when your vehicle's being pulled over, or if there's an ambulance or fire truck behind you,
I would have gladly pulled over.
You need to pull over to the right and come to a complete stop. That's what you're required to do.
Well, I felt that I believe we have a right to pull over where we feel comfortable.
Well, that's not what the law says.
Well, the law says no harm, no loss, no crime. I don't know what law you're talking about. I'm talking about the common law.
Emergency vehicle.
I think what you're calling law is a statute, and you should make that distinction because
Oregon revised statute.
I believe
Oregon Vehicle Code.
common law
Requires
applies to
you pull
human
over to the
beings.
right.
Correct. You're talking about a commercial. You're talking about something totally different than a human
See the use of the magic words and phrases? Spoiler alert, they don't work.
being.
I'm talking about the Oregon Vehicle Code.
Yes, which applies to those who consent. Consent is required.
Excuse me,
It
sir.
applies to people driving on the roadway.
Excuse me, sir.
It applies to people
Sorry about the
traveling.
seatbelt. You can see I've fixed the problem. Okay? I really need to get my medication. I've been
I
without.
would love to help you.
And-
Just hurry up and get on out
and-
of here, but he's being unprofessional.
What's your name? Do you have a business card? And I want you to know, I mean no disrespect whatsoever.
Well, you're not being disrespectful. You're just being difficult with the situation.
Well, I think that people should have a right to exist free and peacefully. I believe strongly in no harm, no loss, no crime. I have the highest respect for the law. But I also make a distinction between legislated statutes and common law.
I'm not being uncooperative. I'm trying to get to the doctors. I need my medications.
What's the name on the license plate here? Is there registration or insurance for the truck?
The truck belongs to a car dealer. The truck belongs to a car dealer.
Well, sir, you as a driver right now.
I'm not a driver, and I would respect you to. I would appreciate you.
And you failed to yield to the emergency vehicle.
There,
You're supposed to pull over to the right and come to complete stop, and you failed to do that.
well, you failed to witness an emergency. You engaged your emergency procedures with no. And another thing, I do believe that in the state of Oregon, you are required to be. You can't drive around in an unmarked vehicle and act as if you're in uniform. And I'll need a business card, and I would like to see your supervisor, please, immediately.
Here's my business card.
I'll need your supervisor here, please. Thank you.
Well, driver, I do need to see your license, insurance, and registration because you failed to yield your emergency vehicle properly.
I'm not driving. I am exercising my right to travel.
You were driving a vehicle. You failed to yield to an emergency vehicle.
Have you ever looked up the word driver in the dictionary, sir?
You were operating this vehicle.
Do you know the definition of the word driver?
I'm going to get into a little
You don't believe that's relevant, what a word means?
driver, operator of a vehicle.
You know what? Do you know?
This truck. You're
What,
operating this
if
truck.
you would take the time to do a little research and look it up, a driver is a commercial term. It means you're engaging in
The
commerce.
gentleman needs to get his medication.
Exactly. He's not paying me. I'm a friend
And you.
who volunteered to help him.
I'm glad I don't have friends like this clown.
And you committed a traffic violation.
No, you did.
And now
You pulled me over
you're
with no reasonable suspicion of any crime. You pulled me over with no reasonable suspicion.
I stopped. I initially activated my lights because of the passenger.
Yes, you engaged your emergency procedures,
Because of traffic violation.
which is
Return, committed a traffic violation by not yielding to an emergency vehicle.
I felt I would pull over where I felt comfortable. I believe I have that right.
I couldn't hear you with the truck over here.
I believe I have a right to pull over where I feel comfortable.
That's not what the law
I did
says.
not feel comfortable.
That's not what Oregon revised statutes say.
Oh, and those statutes. Are you a member of the Law Society?
Vehicle code requires you to pull over.
Are you a member of the Law Society, sir? Are you a member of the Law Society?
No.
Then you're not even acting lawfully. You're in violation of the Constitution.
No.
Do you have to?
Constitution
Are you a sheriff?
is a law society.
Sir, I sure wish you would not wish to do this any further, because I assure you I am well aware of my rights, and it will be a learning opportunity for both of us. like I said, I'm not trying to get over on anybody. I'm a peaceful man. I have the greatest respect for the law. But when I see legislated rules applied to human beings who have not, there's no proof I have consented to your legislation at all.
So by his logic, a serial killer should be able to go to court and tell the judge that he doesn't consent to the law and be let go.
It's only...
When you're committing a safety violation, that affects everybody. When you don't pull over to the emergency vehicle...
I hope this will be an experience where you will learn to make a distinction between a human being exercising his right to travel freely. Does the right to travel freely still exist in this country? Are we still operating under law, or has legislated rules become the control? I'm done talking, excuse me.
Sir, I think my right is here. Am I free to go?
Well, no, because you guys aren't cooperative. You name you gave me is it doesn't exist.
I'm from
It's not
Canada,
that
sir.
way.
I'm from Canada. Check the
Canadian?
I'm Canadian.
Canadian?
I'm Canadian, yes.
Okay. Do you have any Oregon ID at all?
No, I don't.
Okay. What province?
I'm out of British Columbia.
British Columbia?
But I'm telling you, I am just so sick, you're going to have to call an ambulance here in a minute.
Well, if we need to call an ambulance, we
Sir,
have to do that.
but it's not an
the
emergency.
operator of the vehicle's committed a traffic violation, and he's being uncooperative now.
How am I being uncooperative?
You're supposed to give me your license, insurance, and registration because you did not.
I don't have a license.
Okay. Do you have any ID?
I would be glad to provide you with whatever details I could, but as far as I have not applied for a state ID.
Sir? Sir? Fuck. God damn it. Where's she at?
You should not tell them lies. It will not help us in the least. The only way to solve the problem is by being truthful. You should not give them false information. Ever. All I will give them is the truth. I like living by the truth.
And the truth is that you are a shit friend and you are going to jail today. At this point, the police let the old man go when a ride shows up for him. Then this happens.
And then we can let you go.
If it's an... I apologize. May I interrupt? If it's not an arrestable offense, I'll provide you with his location.
The only arrestable offense we would have is your part of failure to carry and present license or ID.
Huh.
That would be an arrestable offense.
It would, underneath the commercial codes that you're quoting. But the right to travel does exist. Did you know that? Are you aware of that? The right to travel exists.
Travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can travel. But,
Yep.
but you even admitted to me just a few minutes ago that you're allowed to use this truck only in the yard.
Right.
You told me.
Well,
We're out in the public roadways.
yep. And my friend is in serious condition, and I'm trying to help him rather than give directions.
There's someone else here to give him a ride.
This was where I was coming to. That's why I stopped here when I got here.
Okay. Well, you're supposed to have stopped back on the roadway.
Well, like I said, I feel what I'm dealing with is more of a serious situation than what you are creating now. You're creating a serious situation.
No.
And you're interfering with my friend's health here.
I got this part covered.
Okay. You want to step around that way then with him?
You want me to get him away? Yeah. All right, sir, right this way.
What?
We're going to walk over
And I'll let you know.
You can head over towards your friends.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your friend's vehicle?
I think she was in that the maroon Hyundai over there.
Let's work our way.
That's
We're
her
gonna
coming out of the
stop right
store.
over here by this red van.
It's her in that dark with the dark hair.
Here's your bag, Steve.
Car's over there.
Steve.
Here, I'll get Steve's bag.
Let's do that. Walk over to the car.
Here's Steve's bag.
Thank you. And
You want me to carry that for you?
I'd like to say one more time, I'm a peaceful man. There will be no need for violence. I'm not going to resist in any way.
Well, then go ahead and step out, unlock the door over there and step out. The sergeant's right over there. You wanted to talk to the sergeant anyway, he's right over there.
No, I said I won't resist arrest.
Okay, so don't resist arrest.
But that doesn't mean I'll follow your orders either.
Well, that would be, well, if I have to arrest you, then that would be resisting arrest.
Then I will peacefully allow you to do so. But I would...
If you would just give me all your information, there's very well a possibility I might just give you a citation and let you go. But if you're going to keep making it difficult, you could end up in jail.
I'm really not trying to make it difficult. I'm trying to actually make it a little bit more simpler. And sometimes...
Failure to carry and present.
Sometimes...
You committed a traffic violation, and then failure to carry and present ID, driver's license, is an arrestable offense.
Is a driver's license...
But I have the option, I could just give you a citation in lieu of custody for it.
Well...
Because you failed to yield to an emergency vehicle properly.
Hello. How you doing?
Would you like to talk to me? I'm the sergeant.
Oh, I would, very much. May I have one of your business cards, please?
What's that, sir?
May I have a business card, please?
I actually don't carry one. You can. Well, my name's Ryan Lane.
Yeah.
I'm a deputy for Lane County. Well, I'm actually a sergeant for Lane County Sheriff's Office.
Mm-hmm.
My deputies actually explained to you everything about today. You failed to carry and present. We want to get through this as easily as possible with you.
The reason I don't carry is because I no longer voluntarily apply for those types of...
You're a constitutionalist?
No, I'm just a human being who believes that I have a common law right. And I think that common law supersedes legislative statutes. I've done a lot of researching it because I care about people. And I, like I stated to him, I'm a peaceful man. There's no need for violence.
That in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's the long story, the short. Right now you are on public roadways, which occurred where this traffic violation occurred, correct?
I don't... What you're saying is a violation.
We are right now, correct?
Yeah.
So, there is one way we're going to go with this. He's actually explained to you he would like to, if you can give him your information, we will go away on that part of it with the citation and such.
The thing is, if people believe that...
We're not going to continue down this road. I'm more than happy to work with you on this, but you're not. Well,
like I said, I'm a peaceful man. I've done nothing to harm or offend either one of you men.
No,
and I believe that since I've done nothing wrong,
yes, sir,
and I've harmed no one, there's no one making a criminal complaint against me. I've violated no one else's rights. Actually, I've damaged no one's property.
Right now you are going down the road of a criminal complaint.
And I believe you gentlemen may be also.
Which is an arrestable offense, correct?
No.
Well, it is.
It is under what statute?
Oregon State, ORS.
Yeah, which is a statute.
Correct.
Which has nothing to do with common law.
What's going to happen is you're gonna make it to the point where we're going to have to actually remove you from the vehicle if you continue this. So, and I don't want to do that because you said you're a peaceful man, and I enjoy being around peaceful people. But you are actually causing this at this point in time.
I don't believe I am.
Are you willing to step out of the vehicle, sir?
I have a right. I believe that if a human being has rights and they fail to exercise those rights, those rights are looked at as if they're non-existent. So,
79, Route 314 to our location. Or closest units.
If I've committed a crime, then and you believe that I've committed an arrestable offense, then that's your belief, and I'm sorry that you believe that.
The deputy that you've been dealing with right over there.
I'm sorry you believe that I've committed an arrestable offense. I apologize for your belief, because I care about people.
No, it's not a belief, it's just what's written into the law.
Which defining a statute, which has nothing to do with common law. I will be exercising my common law rights in this little engagement that's occurring here, and it's no disrespect whatsoever. I'm not doing it. I don't want to go to jail. Trust me, I don't like it there.
I'd rather not take you to jail.
But I would rather...
That's a simple traffic violation. But
yeah, what seems simple, but what I see is years... I see simple traffic violations converted into crimes by the actions of agents who aren't even acting as human beings.
Well, I think we're acting as human beings, though. So I don't.
No,
know why.
you're both in uniform. You're acting as agents. You're not acting as a human being dealing with a human being. And you're
willing to get out of the vehicle and be compliant.
If I've harmed someone, and if you've witnessed me breach the peace, I would lay down on the ground, put my hands behind my back. If there was somebody injured, pointing at me, saying, that man right there harmed me, and you guys got called to somebody who witnessed that, I would be the first one to
Only in that case is when you're going to actually comply with these kind of
when I believe, I think we all have a right to exist peacefully. No one has a right, not even in uniform, to act against a peaceful person who has committed no crime. And when you say, I violated a statute, you're failing to make the distinction between a human being practicing his common law rights and a legal entity which you're attempting to create joinder with you want me to provide you with details that would make me voluntarily consenting to contract with you. I do not wish to contract with you. And when I go to court, I will not be entering a plea, because I only go to court when I've actually committed a crime.
At this point in time, you have, sir.
Oh, well, what you're calling a crime, I'm calling me exercising my right to travel freely. I was trying to help a friend who has a medical condition that is very serious, and I have a lot of other things I'm supposed to be doing, but because I care about people, I tried to get him here to get his ride. At the risk of being pulled over by agents who do not distinguish between a human being and a legal person. Now, I can't provide you with the details that would identify me as a legal person, because I plan for the rest of my existence here on Earth to make it a distinction. And
it's a choice on your part, correct? It's a choice on your part.
To be a human being.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's definitely a choice.
Therefore, when we make choices in life, there's sometimes consequences, correct?
Yep. And
so that is what.
Out of all this, I hope that you both do the research. Oh, I care about you. I care about your family. I care about your children. But if we continue acting against each other in a way where we don't protect the peace, instead we enforce the legislated rule that is actually harming human beings. Like right now, the things that I care about and I should be spending my time doing, I'm being forced without my consent to comply to your demands.
You just said
when I've done nothing.
You were helping your friend at taking the risk of being pulled over.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So now you have to deal with the consequences.
Yep. See, I feel like there's a gang out there. There's a gang out there that carries weapons, which is very intimidating, and they threaten to take the freedom away of human beings.
And that's why we have jobs, because there are gangs out there with weapons.
Well, like I said, I wish that the emphasis was on protecting the human being, the life, the quality lived, not creating revenue. I know you're a sheriff. You look like a good man.
Yeah, thank you.
And you look like a good man too. When I look, I can't see your eyes, but when I look at you guys, I think, man.
Do you think that he's not out protecting life today? He's actually doing seatbelt enforcement.
No, I think he is, but I wonder how you guys feel. Have you ever seen a situation where you may have arrested someone who you felt was a good person, but do you ever feel like, wow, I arrested that person, and damaged their life, caused them financial hardships, and they've really done nothing to harm anyone. All he did was break my rule.
So you're out driving on the road, you don't have a license or any kind of insurance for this vehicle, correct? And you get into an accident with somebody else on the road that is driving. Wouldn't that be also putting those people in danger, because you can't give any kind of financial stability for them for when you crash your vehicle into their car?
I would be responsible for any damage I'd done, and I would take self-responsibility.
That you can't be driving on the road without a license.
And that's why I don't drive on the road without a license. I travel in a personal conveyance.
Yeah. You travel on the road, don't you?
Your definition of words and your understanding may vary from mine, but we will both have a clearer understanding of this if you choose to do so. And like I said, no harm intended, no disrespect. I'm not trying to make your day rougher. If anything, I'd like to make your day easier. Okay. And I think your day would be much easier.
It would be much easier if you just step on out.
You can.
How about this? Would you please step out of the vehicle, sir? I'll even say it. Pretty please step out of the vehicle, sir.
See, if you'd witnessed me committing a crime, I would comply.
We have.
We did.
Okay. So there's an alleged party that will file a sworn affidavit testifying.
Right
I do.
Okay, well,
I will do.
Here's an interesting thing. I know that your designation of authority comes from. Do you know what documents you've derived your authority from? Do you know where your authority comes from? Does it just come from a gun and a badge, or does it come from law?
It starts off with the Constitution.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, do you know that the Constitution really does not authorize you guys to act in a way to generate commercial revenue? You know, you're not allowed to do that. What you're supposed to be doing is, if somebody called you and said, that guy ran into me with his car and drove off, you should go get that guy, because what he did harmed someone's property.
So we're also out here to prevent that, and that's what I was doing today, was preventing that type of situation from happening.
Well, maybe we should prevent crime by just exterminating people. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not here to exterminate anybody.
Preventive.
We're here to stop people. We're here to prevent crime.
So am I.
Stopping
so am I.
Commits a travel
I am too. I'm here to stop crime. I'm here
to get you off the road
because I care about people. I'm here for a short time.
If you do that, then step out of the vehicle.
And
so we can go on to help those other people.
Okay. I can't voluntarily consent to what I believe is criminal conduct on your behalf.
Okay.
But if you wish to drag me from the vehicle and arrest me, if you seriously believe I'm a threat to this community and that I'm a danger to society...
I think that you're a threat when you drive on the road, when you don't have a license and you don't have insurance.
Well, why? Because Chicken Little worried the sky was going to fall? Well, I believe if no harm has been committed, then no crime has been committed, and you should allow people to exist peacefully, first and foremost.
But see, we want to prevent harm. If you want
to prevent harm,
before harm happens.
You need to realize what you're doing right now is harming me. You guys have guns.
Have we harmed you yet? Are you physically hurt in any kind of way?
Yes.
Physically hurt?
Yes.
Where are you physically hurt at right now, sir?
I'm physically hurt in my heart because you failed to understand the words I'm trying to share with you. And I have several friends who have also suffered at the legislated rules that are enacted by those who voluntarily consent to be consenting members of the Law Society. I in no way have given my consent. And if you can show proof of my consent, then you should carry on. But if you don't have proof of consent, it is voluntary to apply for a license. It's voluntary.
Provided those documents.
Then
my mouth is so dry.
It's a privilege to drive. You have to have that license so you can drive.
And I'm not. I know. I've revoked that privilege, and I've opted.
You're violating that revocation.
Well, I'm not consenting to any of that.
You violated that revocation.
Only if I have not given my consent.
So anyway,
that jurisdiction applies to those who consent.
Besides all this, if you just step out of the vehicle, we could get this taken care of. Or if you just give me your name and everything.
I've never refused my name. One time I've never refused my name.
Okay, so, well, I asked for your license, insurance, registration, you wouldn't give me that.
I don't voluntarily apply for those documents, which are voluntary to apply for, by the way.
So what is your name?
My name's Gerald.
What is your family name?
My family name is Davis, and thank you for Davis.
Davis. And then Gerald is with a G, J, or
with the G.
G-E-R-A-L-D?
Yep. And actually, if you wanted me to write it, I'd write it as my proper name. Something I wasn't educated in school, a proper name. Do you know how Benjamin Franklin signed his name?
Do you have a date of birth?
With semicolons.
What's your date of birth?
I don't see the relevance to that question.
So we can help identify you, and maybe we can get out of here.
Well, I told you, my name's Gerald, my family name's Davis, and you can see me with your own eyes.
Do you have a middle name?
Or is it's challenging to try and not be offensive. I don't want to be disrespectful, but then again, I love life, and I love.
Have any of us been disrespectful to you in any kind of way?
Well, in a way, but not directly.
Disrespectful to you?
You have a gun. You have these lights on that are kind of humiliating me in public. So that, in a sense, that's disrespect.
Okay.
Other than that, no. And
so, treated you courteously this whole time, correct?
Well, if the courtesy would have been to see that I'm a peaceful man and allow me to help my friend and not interfere with me helping somebody and allow me to go free on my way.
So, Gerald,
that would be courteous and kind.
What's your date of birth?
Well, since I wasn't counting back then, what you're asking me, you want me to provide you with the details of the legal entity.
What's your birth date?
The birth date on the birth certificate.
So here's the deal. I'm going to tell you very calmly. We are going to remove you from the vehicle. You're going to be under arrest. So if you resist, it's going to add other charges. Also on top of that, we don't want to.
In no way will I resist.
So go ahead and either slide out towards the side, open this door, or go to those deputies right now, or you're right now, you are under arrest.
Okay.
Are you shutting it off?
Yeah.
You going this way or that way?
Hey, I want to say one thing. I love you guys. I love you.
All right.
And I'm probably done talking for the rest of this adventure.
So what we have learned today is how to take a simple ride to the ER and turn it into an hour on the side of the road, followed by a trip to jail. Stupid people do teach us things. They teach us what not to do. Speaking of stupid people, I have some sad news. If you've never heard of Mad Mike Hughes, he was a flat earther who would build homemade rockets and launch himself into the sky in an attempt to prove that the earth is flat. Everyone knows I don't like flat earthers, but Mike was a different story. Unlike most flat earthers, he was quite a nice guy. Being dumb doesn't necessarily make you unlikable. So although it was inevitable, considering his hobby, it's sad to see him go. If you haven't, please like and subscribe.